Hey, Shalom, it's your brother Yawanathon, all right? First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, or HaHaKodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone. I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters pursuing this truth and sincerity, all right? May the blessing of election be upon your house, okay? I got some clips that I saved. We're going to respond to them through the Spirit. Abaratazah, the lesson is edifying, okay? So the first clip I saved, I seen this Edomite kid. He has a podcaster, I guess, I don't know, and he goes and questions particular Christians and Zionists. So here's the first clip. It's about 27 seconds long. We'll respond to it. I'll make it big for you all on the screen. Here we go. Hold on. Shalom, everybody coming in on the comment board. All right.
There are no Beethovens coming up.
Almost posing it that you're of greater moral value than they are.
Yeah.
Or that you're of greater moral value than Indians and you're of greater moral value than Asians.
I don't know why God loves his covenant, but he does.
So you think that you're of greater moral value than black people and Asian people and Indian people?
I think the covenant people do have more value, yes.
Okay, so off the rip, he made the statement, there's no Beethovens coming out of Africa. Okay, now Beethoven, if you all didn't know, was constantly referred to when it described his appearance as being swarthy. And when you look swarthy up, swarthy means to be, you guys probably can't see, it's probably flipped on your end. But if you just type in swarthy, it'll tell you that it means to be dark skinned. So, most people, they don't know the actual history because this devil has lied about everything. He lies about things in real time. For instance, I looked up the instance on ChatGPT with the small hats in New York a couple years ago, how they were in those tunnels and they found the mattress with the blood on it and the baby toys. I asked ChatGPT, was anybody, arrested or convicted for anything? What was the deal with that? ChatGPT told me that that's a conspiracy theory and that it never happened. So they'll lie to you about things in real time. So how much more so the history? Okay? And even bigger than Beethoven, Yahushai. Okay, and the whole nation of Israel were so-called people of color, okay, or black. I hate that term. It's a very derogatory term. All right, but the covenant people, like he talks about in the clip, will be so-called black people or so-called black, Latino, and Native American people, of color. All right, let's watch this clip one more time.
There are no Beethovens coming out of Africa.
According to what you're saying, the way that you're comparing white people's achievements compared to black people's achievements is almost posing it that you're of greater moral value than they are.
Yeah.
Or that you're of greater moral value than Indians and you're of greater moral value than Asians.
I don't know why God loves his covenant, but he does.
So you think that you're of greater moral value than black people and Asian people and Indian people?
I think the covenant people do have more value, yes.
Now, in the regard of him saying the covenant people have more value, that is true. It's just that he's not a part of that. This is Deuteronomy 7:6. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." Then you go to 2 Ezra 6, because there's another clip in this podcast that I did say, I'm not going to put it up. But the guy in the podcast, the younger man, I think all people comes from Adam and da-da-da. But there's a chosen line. Okay? Like this cracker mentioned, there's a people that have a covenant with the Most High, and those people are above all the people of the earth, and the earth was made for their sakes. All right, it's 2 Ezra 6:56. "As for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and is like in the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel." Okay? And you jump up to the verse before that in 55. It says, "All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes, the people of the covenant." Okay? And you can start at verse 54 in that chapter. So yeah, man. But people are realizing how ridiculous, the small hats claim is at this point in time. Everything that they try to substantiate to prove that they are who they are is based off of lies, and those lies are being uncovered. Now, people look at, in passing, the people that don't have the eye salve to see, they'll look at the Hebrew Israelites in passing and be like, oh, those guys are crazy too. But the difference is we could come with historical references, and most importantly, we could come out of the scriptures and prove, okay, this is the predicament. And I'm going to do a lesson on that, a starter kit lesson, because the scriptures give you a checklist to identify who his people are in our time. So as you go through that checklist, it starts to dawn on you, if the Spirit is supping with you, like, these people actually don't fit the description of the predicament that the chosen people would be in before the Lord's return. Because we would be under curses, we would be in a downtrodden state until the Lord returns. You go to Revelation 22:3, it tells you what? That the curses wouldn't be lifted off of our people until the return of the Lord. It says, and then there shall be no more curse. Revelation 2:3 at the beginning of the verse. Okay? So, guys like this, they're looking more and more ridiculous. And people are starting to come to the conclusion like, oh, man, those Israelites got it right. And to be more specific, the prophets of Great Millstone, they have the full understanding, because we go into detail on what's about to play out in the earth. The things that we've been talking about for years are beginning to play out in people's face. And they're like, oh, shit. Spot on what these guys brought out of the scriptures, how they broke it down. It's playing out. So, people are coming to that realization, but they could come to the realization all they want. Lest they repent, they're going to get caught up in the destruction. Okay, I got another clip for you all. All right. Just to back up my point a little bit, little historical clip here.
One of the world's dirtiest secrets is that the exterminated Jews in Nazi Germany were not considered real Jews. They were considered Khazar Russians and Eastern Europeans whose ancestors converted to Judaism in 740 AD under their king, King Bulan. Their bloodline dates back to the Turkish tribes and to the powerful empire of Khazaria that once controlled all of Russia.
And the Khazars were kicked out of Russia. They tried to kidnap the Tsar, or the president. That's what the title was back then. And they were always fucking up the currency. Snipping the size of the coins, devaluing the currency, thus devaluing the nation's currency in their economic power. Same thing they do everywhere they go. Same thing they're doing today with the printing of the money. It's the modern day version of coin clipping. Okay, but continuing on with the clip.
Arthur Kessler, who wrote The 13th Tribe, claims that over 90% of today's Jews are racially non-Jewish and have no genetic relationship to the 12 tribes of Israel. Today's Jews, says Kessler, are more related to Attila the Hun than King Solomon of Israel. 2,000 years ago, when the Roman conquerors evicted the 12 tribes from Israel, the largest tribes, called Dan and Naphtali, settled...
Now, that she's talking about 70 AD. Our people were taken into Rome. Many of us fled into the interiors of Africa because we could blend in with the people. And we ended up on the west coast of Africa. And if you can find an older map, you'll see some of the maps are called, like that whole Nigeria, Ghana region. It's called Negro Land. So when, the transatlantic slave trade started, the nations that were confederate against us, they knew who they were going to get. They knew the people that they were taking into bondage. All right? And again, that biblical prophecy that happened. But the land would be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, meaning this age in which the nations are ruling. All right? It would be that way until Yahushua came back. Boom. We're changed, and the kingdom of heaven is established. And we're made the sole world power in the earth. Let me get that precept I just quoted real quick. This is Luke 21 and 24. It says, and this is written in red, it says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations, which happened to us. All right. And we were separated from our heritage and called a proverb and a byword. These are all things that do not fit the small hat today. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, the other nations, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And that started with the siege of Jerusalem, like we mentioned, in 70 AD. Okay? So, you know, it's dawning on everybody that we're not as crazy as the devil tries to paint us out to be. Okay? But before, you know, that can really, really just be mainstream, he's going to roll. He's going to try to justify rolling on the believers. All right? So that's what we need to be preparing ourselves for, to hold fast to our integrity, regardless of what is being threatened to be taken away from us. We're not supposed to be attached to this world, and that's how you overcome. You see, if you want to control somebody, you give them what they want or you take it away. The difference with the elect is what they want is the kingdom of heaven. And this devil can't manipulate us with that because he can't give or take that away from us. Okay? So, one more. I think I got 2 more clips. Okay, I played that one. I want to get into... I played those 2. Yeah, it's just this one. Just the whole thing with Maduro. Just to give you a spiritual insight into what's going on. I'm pretty sure all the brothers have been talking about it in all the videos you've been watching. All right, but here's another clip. And this is one of those, I forget the guy's name. It's Islam guy. Now, he doesn't believe in our God. Obviously not. But even a broken clock is right twice a day. So let's listen to what he has to say. He articulated it pretty well. So no further ado, here's the clip.
When America tries to say this person, that person is a dictator, that person is a dictator, the first question you need to ask is, what is it that country has that America needs? That's the first question you need to ask them. America is the biggest oil junkie in the world. Okay. America owes so many countries money. It's insane. It's really insane. So whenever she's talking about other countries and saying these are terrorists, see, you go to another nation that didn't invite you. Right. You try to have negotiations and tell them, listen, give us your oil, diamonds, etc. We'll have some negotiations. And they say, well, no, we don't want you to have that. You go to another one. And America says, oh, okay, cool. So America leaves. What do? They send in agents through the CIA. They assassinate the leadership after they use the media in that country to turn the people against the leader of that country. Then it's called a coup. They assassinate the leader and they prop up someone who is a CIA agent who they have trained to be the new person to run for the leadership of that country, put him in place, and then they have free access to the wealth that they already were trying to get in the first place. This is called a coup. America's been doing it for a very long time. They have murdered and assassinated leaders all across the planet. America is a gangster, brother. I mean, a real one. They feel like money is their God. They'll say God with their mouth, but they'll show God with their money. God meaning G-O-D, gold, oil, and drugs. Okay? That's their God. Gold, oil, and drugs. That's their God.
You know, so... You know, this man is being exposed on every side, like it talks about in 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter. Inquisition shall be made of the wicked. As the Lord returns, more people are going to begin to question his legitimacy in the position that he has. How did he get in that position? Well, we know it's through injuries and riches got by deceit. And because of that, like it talks about in Sirach 10 and 8, the kingdom shall be translated from one people to another. All right, so, you know, just a quick lesson I wanted to share with you all. I had some clips I wanted to look at them and respond to them. And, you know, just make sure I'm giving my time to the Lord, as we all should be, because we're going to need that covering as this test begins to pop off. So, Abba Ratzazah, the lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.